Have you seen Star Wars?
In a recent interview with TheWrap.com, the president of Lucasfilm Kathleen Kennedy talked about the Kenobi series and confirmed that it will be a limited series. The direct quote is in a response to female directors being a priority for Lucasfilm, and here is Kathleen Kennedy's response. It's absolutely a priority. It's been very exciting to see the talent that's come in, and we're now developing the limited Obi-Wan Kenobi series with Deborah Chow, and she's just doing a phenomenal job. So here she says it's the limited series, which is not all surprising because we've covered this on the channel so many times over the past year, but it does confirm everything that the reports have been saying, that there will only be one season of the Kenobi series, and so far it will only be 6 episodes long. I personally hope each episode will be 1 hour long, and by 1 hour I don't mean The Mandalorian Season 1 hour long episodes where most episodes were about 40 to 50 minutes on average. I mean, I actually want every single episode to be 1 hour long. Plus, what's exciting about this series is that we will actually get more focus on Kenobi as a character than we got during the entire prequel trilogy. In fact, in my opinion, I think that Obi-Wan should have been the main character of the prequel films, but that's just me. That's a conversation we can have for a completely different video. I'm also happy that Deborah Chow is the director for the entire series. I remember when it was announced that she was picked to helm the Kenobi series, a lot of soy boys on the internet got really upset online and cried identity politics by Lucasfilm simply because she's a woman directing something in Star Wars. Let's be clear, Deborah Chow has directed chapters 3 and 7 of Season 1 for The Mandalorian, and those were both my favorite episodes of the series, and I gave them both perfect 10 out of 10 scores on my review for those episodes. So I have no doubt that Deborah Chow will truly bring the Star Wars feeling to this new Kenobi series, and I'm also excited to see what kind of action they put into the show, because in my opinion, her 2 episodes had some of the best action in the entire season. Right now, the Kenobi series has likely finished script rewrites, or is currently undergoing its script rewrites. The series is set to begin filming in 2021 and release in 2022, but there are reports that say some filming for the series will begin in late September and may even overlap production with the Cassian Andor series. And I want to put a little asterisk by that, filming in September of this year, 2020. I would assume that that's likely just some kind of teaser trailer, something like that, to kind of get the gist of everything, but the main cast will not get together until 2021. We do know that. There's been other reports too that the Kenobi series will use leftover sets from The Mandalorian Season 1, mainly the sets that were set on Tatooine, and we all know that the series will likely be set primarily on Tatooine, but from what I've heard through the grapevine of things, is that Obi-Wan will leave the desert planet to go to another part of the galaxy for what could be one last adventure before the events of A New Hope. Don't forget that Hayden Christensen is also supposedly set to reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker in this Kenobi series in a bunch of flashback sequences during the Clone Wars before Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And the last little bit of information I have on the series is that the kids who are playing young Luke and Leia have been casted as well, and they will be playing the characters around the ages of 8 to 11 years old, which makes a lot of sense because the series is set 8 or 9 years after Revenge of the Sith. And when they were first working on the scripts, back in 2019 of August, they announced the series, and they said they had the scripts written, ready to go. Well, apparently one of the problems that they had with the scripts, and the reason they got rid of that writer, Hossein Amini, and brought in a new writer named Joby Harold, was because the original story for the Kenobi series was very similar to what was happening in Mandalorian Season 1, where I would think that when they mean that, they would also mean that Obi-Wan was taking care of like a baby Luke or a baby Leia, like very, very young Leia and Luke in that sense, and they felt like that was too similar to what Din Djarin is doing as the Mandalorian in Season 1 of The Mandalorian, and taking care of baby Yoda or the child, whatever you want to call him. So I think they saw too many similarities between that, and they wanted to change it up, which I guess kind of makes sense, but if the series was going to come out in 2022, that would have been 3 years after 2019 Season 1 of The Mandalorian. So I really don't see that argument holding up too well, unless in Seasons 2 and 3 of The Mandalorian, it is likely just Din Djarin taking care of the child still. If that's the case, then I understand it, but still. I'm excited for the Kenobi series, and I think it's a great thing for Star Wars fans to be getting this series, considering this is nothing but a pure fan pleaser, and it is giving Star Wars fans exactly what they've been asking for these past 5 years. 2020 sucks, and that means 2022 cannot get here fast enough. I truly do wonder though, when will the series come out in 2022? the first half of the year or the second half. If it comes out in the first half of the year, it'll likely come out in the month of May, I would assume. But then again, you have to ask, well, when does The Mandalorian come out in that year? If there is going to be a Season 3 that comes out that year, or maybe a Season 4 that comes out that year. I mean, there's a lot of live action and Star Wars series that are in the works that could be animated or live action that we just don't know. And the second half of the year is what I would kind of bet on, because if you remember in 2019, when Jedi Fallen Order came out, it came out the same day one of the Mandalorian episodes came out as well. And it may have came out on the same day that the Mandalorian released. I think Chapter 2 came out on November 19th, and I think that's when Jedi Fallen Order released as well, because I think Disney Plus released on November 17th. So I really can't remember. It was last year, so whatever. But I think that would be a good idea to follow in 2022 as well, is to have the Kenobi series debut on Disney Plus, but the same day that the Kenobi series launches, have Jedi Fallen Order 2 release that very same day, because the marketing for that would just cross over so well. They're both set in the same timeline. They're both set around Jedi stories and dealing with the fall of the Jedi Order during, right after Order 66, and what to kind of do with the future. I just think it would be a tremendous idea, and it would really help the marketing for both of them and drive up the sales for Disney Plus, the subscription service at least, and also the sales for Jedi Fallen Order too. I'm excited for both of them. I think 2022 is going to be the next big year for Star Wars fans, and I also think that this Kenobi series is probably one of the most anticipated projects for Star Wars fans at the moment, at least. I mean, there's a lot of things in the works that we either don't know about, know a little bit about, but this is one of the biggest things. Ewan McGregor reprising his role as Obi-Wan, alongside Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker again, too. I think that's going to be a big fan pleaser, and it's going to kind of be a fan service thing where fans react positively to it. Unless they screw up the Kenobi series, and then we all get our pitchforks and riot, because, let's be honest, if they screw this one up, oh man, there's no forgiving that. You can mess up the sequels, that's kind of expected. You can mess up almost anything you want when it comes to Star Wars, and fans will be a little forgiving, because it'll be like, you know what, I still got my original trilogy films, I still got my prequels, and even people who like the sequels are like, yeah, you do whatever you want, I still got my films. But if you mess up Ewan McGregor coming back as Kenobi, man, there's no going back on that. So they have to get this just right, and I think that's one reason that having a limited one-season series is not the worst idea, because the more you milk this thing, the more opportunities you have to mess it up. So I think 6 episodes, maybe a little bit short for a lot of fans' taste, but in terms of quality, it's fine. Remember, you want quality over quantity, not quantity over quality, which is kind of what we've been getting for Star Wars for the past 20-odd years. So I'm excited for the Kenobi series, but comment your thoughts below. Are you excited for the Kenobi series, and what do you think about it being limited to 1 season? Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, because it does help out the channel. I'm Star Wars Only. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.